I'm ready. This is a mic check. This is the coolest mic check you'll ever have. Daddy Shark doo 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 doo. Hello, YouTube fans, everybody who's been following me, watching me the whole 9 yards. I'm behind the desk today for one specific reason, because we're going to cover one topic in barbering that doesn't usually get discussed. As you can tell, I'm wearing a hat today. Why? Because I look like a bum. This is my hat, straight from South Africa. That one time I went, amazing trip, love it. I wish to go back. As you can tell, a few things have changed with me. The beard is gone. There's only one reason for it. My wife hates my beard. So from time to time, I just gotta shave it off. Otherwise, I feel really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice here and there. And then she's nice and lets me grow it out. So it all works out in the end. But anyways, what I wanted to discuss with you today is improving on your work and marketing yourself. It's very interesting that especially like 21st century, thanks to Instagram, Facebook, other social media platforms, barbering, became affected by it as well. The great things about it is you can become known by others a lot faster. You can market your product a lot quicker, and you can make it accessible to a lot of people with just a click of a button. The only thing is, what it takes, especially for barbers of our era, 21st generation, is I think you gotta be somewhat computer savvy. You gotta be willing to learn, and I would recommend it for all barbers, even older barbers that don't want to do it. I still think there's a lot to benefit. Now, me personally, as most of you know, I'm no longer a barber. I do this for fun, but I still do it because it is what it is, and I would like to share this special aspect with y'all to help those that are seeking to actually become better. So without further ado, tip number one, I got from a very close friend, professional, my co-worker, my partner in crime, my one of my competitions, Jesus Sanchez. He has an Instagram account. Make sure y'all follow him. Very good barber. And I remember when I first started working with him, he said, you need to get a better camera. And I was like, what? Excuse me, what? I got an iPhone 10. It's the best camera in the market. What are you talking about, better camera? You see my work? He's like, nah, dog, you need to get a DSLR camera, and you need to start taking pictures with your DSLR camera. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, first of all, if you ever want to get reposted, your quality of picture needs to be better. Number two, if you want to see your work for what it truly is, you need a DSLR camera. So I was very apprehensive, but I have friends. One of them, Alex Chapligan, great fella, my brother. So he hooked me up with this DSLR camera, which is Nikon, whatever. Everybody calls it different. It got a simple portrait wide lens camera. But that's what I've been shooting pictures with. And I'm telling you, a huge difference, a huge step up. So what I do after each photo shoot is I take the memory card out, pop it in the computer, save the pictures to my desktop, go over them. And I do a little bit of a Photoshop to them, and I'm gonna go over in depth. And then I repost them online. And honestly, of course, we as barbers will wanna pick the work that shines better. But I don't mind imperfections being shown on my photos, because I know people are watching, and I want people to see as well the progress that I'm making. I want people to understand that I was not always perfect, that I've started from the bottom, and like everybody, I just needed to put the time and the patience in, and to get where I'm at today. or to get to the place where I want to be in the future. So with that being said, if you're a barber, if you're an aspiring barber, if you really want to improve, if you really want your work to be, on point, if you really want to be crispy, fresh, among other things that we'll cover and we'll talk about and other barbers talk about, one area that gets overlooked is take pictures of your work, critique your work, look for ways to improve, and it will help you to progress further. Because as you're cutting, most of the time, you're feeling the cut. You're like, oh yeah, oh, the fade's on point, the design's on point. You're in the moment. And I don't know what it is, but you don't really spot it the same way. I've had so many haircuts that I've done, and I was just like, oh yeah, I killed it. Brought it over to the computer, looked at it a week later, 2 weeks later, and I was just like, go back to the drawing board, start from ground zero. So many times when the fade just felt just right, took a picture, put it on the screen a few weeks later, completely different. That's what helps you to become better. You looking at your own work after the time passed, after the hype came down, you know what I'm saying? When your blood came down, when you look at it with a fresh set of eyes, a few weeks later, you look at it and you'll be able to say, okay, next time I need to go a little bit further. Next time I need to not be as fast. Next time I need to do this, to do that. So DSLR camera, an advice that my very close friend gave me, Jesus Sanchez, I'm spreading the wealth, spreading the knowledge. If you're an aspiring barber, you want to become better, you really want critique on your work so you can become better, get yourself a nicer camera. The phone camera, that won't work unless you're trying to, cut at McDonald's for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's fine. But if you want to go up, if you want to level up, if you want to get to that next level, you got to be willing to learn, adapt, overcome in this environment. So I already did it for you. I took the cameras out. I already saved it to my computer. Excuse me, I'm gonna take my gum out. I think it's kind of rude and probably messes up